God morgon och välkommen till Olas FAQ98. Jag ska prata svenska. Nej, skit i det. Welcome to Olas FAQ number 98. Only 2 more until the magical number 100. It's gonna be amazing. I'm here at my house. It's pouring outside and I feel really awesome. And the echo is amazing too. Ah! Ah! All right, let's just start. Paul Nino Agulnado. Have you heard Exhorder's new track? Yes, of course I've heard it. But more importantly, I've seen it. You know why? Because Marcy Montessori, the guitar player, is using Solar guitars. He's using an E-type in the video. So, very excited for that. Obviously, Exhorder, super awesome. Happy to see that they're recording another album. If you're a fan of Pantera, you will probably like Exhorder because Exhorder was kind of like the pre-Pantera influence right there. So go check it out if you haven't already. Exhorder's new song. I don't know what the name because I'm the worst with names. Chaos156. Hey Ola, how come you never try Audio Assault plugins on your videos? Is it because they're Mexican? Yes, it's because I'm a full-blown racist and I hate Mexicans. That's exactly why. Okay, disclaimer. I don't hate Mexicans, okay? It's a Mexican over there. No, I just haven't come across the Audio Assault plugins, except for like a month back or two, maybe like 3 months ago. They wanted me to make a video of their new Hellbeast plugin, and I was like, sure, great. I loaded it up, ready to demo it, and I noticed it was basically a ripoff of the Randall Satan 50 amplifier. And they didn't mention that small detail that they were making a rip-off Satan plugin. So I said like, hey man, not okay. I don't want to do the video. Thank you! So that's it. I have no idea what their plugins sound like. Maybe they're shit, maybe they're awesome. I have no idea, never tried them. Thomas Nordsee. Hi Ola, how do you feel about YouTubers like Jared Dines and Stevie T putting 30 to 60 second ads in their videos? I was wondering, since you don't use ads, is it because they have to make a living out of YouTube alone, whereas you have got Solar guitars? You might have noticed this when you're watching other channels, not mine, not a Englund YouTube channel, but you might have seen this when you watch other channels that they're basically making an advertisement inside the video. It might be for like Dollar Shave Club or a mobile game or whatever. And obviously these guys are making a shit ton of money of these advertisements because it gets exposed to a whole lot of people. I've been offered to do advertisements like this, but I've been lucky enough to have other things in life. YouTube is not my only source of income, which is awesome because then I don't have to sell my soul to Dollar Shave Club. I think it's perfectly fine for these guys to have advertisements in their videos. I mean, it's their channels. I'm very fortunate enough that I don't have to take and make advertisements like that. It's just not my thing. And even though there's a bunch of money to be made from doing that, I think it affects the trustworthiness a little bit, I think. That's just me. I'm just being a cautious Swede here. And maybe I'm overthinking things. I mean, look at it like this. These guys put out content for you guys. And from YouTube generating them money, it might not be enough. But with the advertisement that they're doing, the paid advertisement, maybe they can continue to do what they're doing. And thanks to these advertisements, they can provide content for you guys and keep on doing it. So you can always see in that remark that it's great that they can use advertisements so they can keep the channel alive. I have other things that keeps me alive, like coffee and carts. Team Cart, by the way. How do you like this cart? It seems like Ola Englund the Swede has started a trend, by the way. So people are starting to buy carts now. I'm not saying I'm a trendsetter, but I guess I am. So there you go. A lot of people have suggested that I would form my own cart company. So you can go to solarcarts.com and buy your solar cart today. No advertisement at all. Just buy a drink cart. It's good for you. Solarcarts.com. Natas66 for the next FAQ. Ola, can you tell us the significance of some of your tattoos? Okay. there's really no significance of my tattoos. You know, I'm a huge fan of Egyptian mythology, so most of my tattoos are, you know, surrounding that. I have, I think I talked about this probably like 20 times already, but yeah, I have some, I have a pharaoh here with some snakes. I mean, snakes are cool. And this is a skull right here with a scarab, and you know, this is a badass skull down here. I remember I didn't have this part tattooed on me, and I went to a guy who arranged a haunted show in Karlstad in Sweden. He's a tattoo artist, and I'm like, yeah, I want to have something cool here. And he's like, let's just make a badass skull. And I'm like, fuck yeah, there it is. I have an eye here, I have some sort of pharaoh dog here, I have the horse, not horse, Horus here, which is a bird. And he brought the sun every day, like this. Hoots, hoots. This is my first tattoo, by the way. It was like the eye of the Horus, and then I put some shit next to it, and that's great. And up here, it's, you know, more bullshit, basically. And also, I can recommend tattooing right here. It's probably the worst place to get tattooed on. There's a bunch of shit in here, like glands and whatever. So I remember him tattooing right next to my armpit. You know, the whole arm like turned red and all weirdy and shit. So that's a sensitive spot for me. Just great information. Wikipedia. Put it on Wikipedia. Whole Englund gets red. Logan Markham. So I'm assuming you watched Dragon Ball Z, but have you watched Dragon Ball Abridged? It's 100 times better. Did you just assume my anime? No, I have not watched Dragon Ball Z because I'm not a child, okay? Thank you. Noreen Rad. Ola, what's your favorite video game soundtrack? Any era. I think I've answered this also. It's the Outcast soundtrack from the game Outcast. I think it's from 1997 or 1999. It's one of the first soundtracks I've heard which had a full orchestra. It's amazing. I'm also a big fan of the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack, obviously. Other than that, oh yeah, the Wolfenstein. It's a Wolfenstein 2 soundtrack by Mick Gordon. Mwah, amazing. Another one is the Doom soundtrack, obviously. And now, looking forward to the Doom Eternal soundtrack by Mick Gordon. It's gonna be exciting. Doom Eternal, man. It's looking really cool, by the way, that game. Mike Romeo. Oh, I've never heard you mention John 5 ever. Maybe I've missed it, if you have. Seems like he's on a whole other skill level. Are you a fan? Okay, I'm a huge closet fan of John 5. I'm not too familiar with his music or what he did with David Lee Roth or Marilyn Manson, but whenever I see a video of him, he is absolutely amazing and he shreds our asses off. And he seems like a really humble and nice person too. So I'm a huge fan of his playing, but only for YouTube videos, I guess. So I should look it up a little bit more. I know he's a great player and seems like an awesome guy. I should look it up. Oh. Jake the Misanthrope. Which scene do you think was the more influential one? Swedish death metal or Norwegian black metal? This is an excellent question. At the end of the day, I think that Swedish death metal was more influential because it spawned a shit ton of bands in the early 2000s. And, you know, I think they basically spawned the metalcore genre in that sense, which became really big. Not to say that I'm a fan of the metalcore genre, but I'm a huge fan of the Swedish death metal scene. Norwegian black metal has been more, you know, under the surface, not that accepted as Swedish melodic death metal. But I think that, you know, the Swedish death metal has become more commercial, I would say, or turned into something else, while Norwegian black metal has stayed, you know, pretty true to its roots throughout the years. So I will probably say that that Swedish death metal was more influential to other bands, at least, while Norwegian black metal is more like a really solid genre that really stood its grounds and is more true. I don't know. Do I know? I'm used to Swede. Jaden Spears, non-music related question. Have you heard about the Netflix series about The Witcher? Thoughts? Yes, I've heard about it, and I remember when I heard that Henry Cavill, you know, Superman, is supposed to play Geralt. And I remember back then, it's like, ugh, really? Henry Cavill? But now since they recorded the first season and they started making teaser pictures, I'm looking forward to it actually. I don't have any high hopes, but you know what? It's good to see series like these coming out. and getting a little bit of attention. I'm hoping for the best, and yeah, it's probably gonna be shit.
Ola tasting shit.
Okay, so last week I tried out root beer, and if you didn't see it, was basically me trying root beer, and it was basically the most awful shit I've ever drank, or drunken, or drinking, or drank. People have reached out to me and said, let me read a couple of comments, okay? You got the wrong brand of root beer. Mug and A&W will change your mind, but I'm not sure they're available in your local store if you had to drink that abomination. Also like, oh, you gotta try root beer with a scoop of soft melting vanilla ice cream. The root beer float. Put a scoop of vanilla ice cream in a glass and pour that root beer over it. That's fucking disgusting. Are you guys like 9 years old? What the hell? All right. But today, I'm trying out a ginger ale. What is this? Boylan Bottling Co. Ginger ale, cane sugar. 36 grams of sugar. I never had a ginger ale in all my life. Trying root beer last week, it was awful. Let's try ginger ale. Hope for the best. Okay, here it is. Boylan ginger ale. This is established 1891. So they've had a lot of time to fix it if it's shit. So, okay, let me try it. All tasting shit. Okay, this was actually good. I can taste the sugar. There's a lot of sugar in this one. So there you go, ginger ale, a solid 6 out of 10. Damn. Team ginger ale, team root beer. I'm gonna keep on drinking this. This was good. Oh, did you see this guitar of mine? Shit. My thumb is getting better and better, so I can at least start playing some guitar. Let me get my friend the katana. My thumb is actually a lot better. I can't really hold the pick too hard, and I can't chug too hard, but I can chug a little bit. It's just that, I grow tired pretty quick. But at least I can play some guitar, so that makes me happy. Oh, ginger ale is amazing. I guess I should make like a riff of the day now that I can actually play guitar. Hey Ola, if the pickups in your personal guitars get broken wires, etc., do you solder the wires yourself? Tack för bra videos som vanligt. Thank you so much. I can solder, and I know how to solder, and I solder a bunch of guitars, but I absolutely hate soldering. And nowadays, if I need something to be soldered or, change out pickups, I just leave it to my good friend Kent, Tech for Meshuggah, to do all that soldering for me. Because I don't have the patience to solder, because I'm shit, basically. Guitar Alves. Hi Ola, greetings from Brazil. Where is that awesome place you were in Norway for the FAQ50? Norway? Did you hear that? That was thunder. Carl Mann. Hey Ola, have you listened to the new Opeth song, Cheers? Yes, I've heard it. It's Hard in the Hand, or Hand on the Heart, or Handen på hjärtat in Swedish. And I heard it, and it's good, man. I'm liking it. The actual song itself actually reminds me a little bit of how Opeth sounded back in the day, but with the newer Michael-style vocals. I listened to the Swedish version first. I couldn't hear or understand what he was singing about. It was so weird to hear him sing in Swedish. You listen to it in English, I could hear everything basically. But yeah, I like the song. But you know what? Just like everyone else, I wouldn't mind if there was some growls on there. Yeah, you know how it is. You always hope. But yeah, they're still doing well, for themselves. So cheers, Opeth. Uncle RJ Kidden. Hi Ola, has there been any other bands that requested you for filling in a spot for them besides At the Gates? Teddy Makashi, Team Cart. Thank you. Well, for filling in, not really, but I've been asked to join a shit ton of bands. throughout the years, and actually a couple of really awesome ones. But I'm just not into touring anymore. I want to be at home. I want to be here. It's fun to tour, but I much more prefer being at home making videos and all that. So if there is a band that wants me to join them, it has to be a pretty big fucking deal if I will go on tour with them. I'd rather be at home with my kids and my family and doing this, making videos for you guys, because I like doing this. Hossein Kiani, hi Ola, I'm from Iran. A very technical question. I use an amp sim and use 30 millisecond white noise in a convolution reverb loader instead of a cab IR. Then at the end of the signal chain, I use EQ matching to use EQ of a pre-recorded guitar cab from an audio file. The final tone that I get is very smooth, blurred, and flat, and there's no harshness or fizzy fuzzing and no bumpiness. I know it's really weird, but I just want to know it's correct or a big mistake. Correct or incorrect? That's the question. Thank you, Ola. Have a good time. Thank you so much. I just wanted to host this question because the guy's from Iran. That's awesome. Because I've heard that listening to metal in Iran is a problem for a lot of people, or for the government at least. Anyway, regarding your setup here, perfect. There is no wrong way or there's no right way. You do whatever has to be done to make you happy. And if this sounds good to you, then it's the correct way. At the end of the day, an IR or an impulse response is somewhat of a EQ match or EQ setting, basically. So there you go. Good luck, man. Snehacish Banerje. Hey Ola, have you ever tried vocals? It's gonna be fun. I do actually sing on a couple of Feared albums. But you know what? Just now when I played Quake with my Discord friends, you can become a paid friend as well. You just have to pay. Whenever I'm plugging my Discord or my YouTube membership thing and, I say, hey, you can pay to become my friend, people go apeshit and they become really sad and angry because, I'm not going to pay to be your friend. That's just a joke. Yeah, you can pay to be my friend. You can talk to me on Discord. When I was playing Quake the last time, I discovered this awesome app so I can change my voice while playing. So I'll see if I can find it and figure it out, and maybe I can put it on my voice here. And will be super awesome and nice. And yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was it. That was the last question. Perfect. Thank you so much for watching this video. We're closing in on FAQ 100. Oh, it's gonna be amazing, amazing. If you haven't already, go subscribe my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to all of my beautiful, beautiful members out there. Have an incredible Sunday. Thank you so much. I'm gonna drink this now. Team Ginger Ale, Team Cards, Team Fuck Root Beer, every day.